EcoLeague was something that I had been dreaming of without actually knowing that it existed, having the option to stay within the country but being like almost a world away from where you're from is absolutely amazing. To come to a place that's so diverse. I mean, even just on this island, there's so many different ecosystems, and like I said, there's so many different landscape layers, and I love it. But EcoLeague, I was interested because I had heard stories just similar to mine of people talking about how great it was, and
it's 12 noon.
Yeah, right, there we go. Yeah, so EcoLeague, I ended up talking with the advisor, or Erica Lang at the time, and she just gave me a couple of pamphlets, and I was like, all right, this seems okay. And then I started to look at the courses, and I started to look what the other colleges offered in regards to extracurricular activities, how involved they were in the community, which I think is a really important thing for colleges to be intertwined in. And I just saw all these success stories of people coming and making friends across the country, and I said, I want to be a part of this. This is something that I could put a semester into, and found that you can do 2 semesters actually, but just make sure they're not back to back. And in that, I found that going to 2 different colleges almost on the other side of the country really helped me just figure out where I was in the world. So when I came to College Atlantic, and I was here with Gordon Longsworth, the GIS professor, he's awesome, love him to death. And we worked on a project actually with Acadia National Park, which is so awesome because I work in there now. We worked on vehicle and deer collision map. So we looked at how many deer are there, are they prone to having Lyme's disease, and we looked at the speed limits around the island, and we said, okay, which areas get cars hit deer the most? And then so we mapped that, and essentially we kind of put it like people should be cautious in this area because it's high speed and there are a lot of deer, and low speed and less deer. So we put together a map, and we submitted it to Acadia National Park. And just recently I found it on like one of their walls, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And so I worked with GIS, so I didn't have a forestry project when I was at College Atlantic. But then, as a senior, having all of my forestry classes completed, I went down to the Grand Canyon and I studied tamarisk, which is an invasive species down there. And so when you go down in the Colorado River, on the banks, there are supposed to be native species like willow. What we were finding was tamarisk, which is an invasive species that what it does is its taproot goes way further than the native species, and it gets all the water that it can, and so then the poor little willows don't have enough water at the top. And also the tamarisk, they drop all their needles and make the soil nice and saline for the native species to not grow there. And so essentially what I was doing was doing research. It was from a research permit, so I was going down the Colorado River, and I was taking a compass, and I was looking at a swath of, I think, like 200 feet at a time, taking the direction and time and all that. Every 10 minutes, I would see the percent tamarisk. So all along the river, I was looking at how much there was. And what I was finding was that along the ends of the Colorado River, so when you enter and when you exit, there was way more tamarisk because there was way more disturbance, human disturbance. So when you go to a national park, you're like, how many people actually go here? I'm the person that estimates that number. And so I'm over here, and we have traffic counters and bicycle counters. And so with my forestry degree, I didn't think I'd be going into visitor use management whatsoever. But just seeing this area and knowing that I could be in it, it was unmatched. Like I couldn't go anywhere else. And once